This video has been shot in Lambdogga Vision. Oh yes, the grainy texture, the poor lighting. I hate to brag, but this effect, the way that I'm doing it right now, costs nearly $3,000. It's funny because man, have I talked about it before? I know I've told other people. When I first started out with the video production on YouTube, all I wanted was like, oh, high definition. Oh gosh, I got to get this, I got to get that, and finally I get a 720 camera. Then just recently I got the ability to do 1080, and I can shoot video clear as a bell. But what do? I process it and stylize it so it looks all grainy like it used to when I was running 8mm. Which I need to fire up that 8mm camera again. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know if anybody's using 8mm uploading videos off of it at the moment. That's a pretty badass effect. I'll have to do that for y'all, 'cause I'm pretty sure you'd have to go back to some of the first videos on the channel to really see that. Based on some things that Haas has said and some of the comments that I've gotten recently, bear with me as I read it. Excuse the clicking. We some clicking mofos here. All right. Here's a quote from Haas to me on my video, Constitutionalism's Dark Side. Haas says, "You call it a deterioration of one of the balances. I call it bullshit and clearly intentional by the powers that be. Honestly, I wonder where the outrage is from people like you. Maybe I'm missing it and you were looking for the glass half full theories, but I'm just about to say fuck it and go hang out with Mike in Mass." Well, sir, let me ask a question to you. You being a man of service and a combat engineer, when the radio announces from a ground force asking for support, and over the radio you hear danger close, fire for effect, and it sounds like the person asking for this artillery barrage extremely close to his or her people, sounds like they don't really feel one way or the other about it. However, that's a very serious situation. The content of what that person just asked for, the steel rain and close proximity to the people that they are charged with the care of. It's pretty serious. They're doing their thing, and their voice seems to be clear and devoid of emotion. Same thing goes for pirate or not pirates, pilots and other people in those situations where they announce the status of their aircraft, be it going down, and they give grid coordinates, and in some circumstances it sounds like they don't feel one way or the other about it. I think outrage can look differently in different people. There are plenty of people that are screaming and shouting from the rooftops. I'm interested in applying a long-term correction. In the context of the video that your comment was on, Haas, we are referring to two amendments that passed nearly 100 years ago. 100 years ago. The people that penned those amendments and that ratified them have passed away from old age. If you want to affect change, if you want to affect long-term change, and in my case, I wish to make the world... Let me change that. So I think that's sort of a trite expression. If I wish to try to make this country as good, if not better, for my children and your children and Irish's children, then I need to do my best in all aspects of affecting that change. And there are some people who their efforts for affecting change involve violence and gunplay and screaming and hoot and hollering and shocking sensation. My part in this particular venue involves dissecting the opposing argument, going into the middle of the opposing argument, and as each fallback position in the debate is reached, preparing myself to take that fallback position down until the opposing argument is not left with any more positions. Do I believe that I would reach and there would be a final place where, okay, yes, all of the issues have been discussed, everything is correct, and I'll sit back in my laurels and reap the benefits of my labor? I don't believe that. I think it'll be a constant process. And there'll be times when there'll be an audience for my grievances and times when my grievances will seemingly be landing on deaf ears. But as of right now, I don't plan on having them stop. If for example, this 16th and 17th repealment process, which, just bear with me on that, what I'm meaning is that process of we address our grievances to a set Congress, where we have the 112th Congress, we continue with the 113th, and actually become almost a constant effort in doing what we need to do. When Irish and myself say things like we've fallen asleep at the switch, and that we didn't know certain constitutional republic ideals in our lifetime, we mean what we're saying. And the answer to us being asleep at the switch for so long isn't, for me, in my opinion, it doesn't involve, standing my ground in restricted property so I get bashed in the face by a cop, so everybody can see how violent our times have become. That's not my particular role. If the purpose for you needing to see outrage is to know that I am aware of problems, then please know that I'm aware of problems. And please know, too, that my effort is to affect a lasting change and hopefully get our sovereign nation back on track. I don't. The process for me and the way I see it isn't to, like, okay, I've got my doctrine, and I'm just going to apply my doctrine to whatever situation I see, and that's going to be it. I don't see that as as being the way that I would go. I seek the truth, and I seek to have our nation and our economy operate in a truthful and lasting way. And I'm not afraid of the truth. If the truth happens to be something that I'm not aware of, or the truth happens to be something that I'm mistaken in, then so be it. But to make a long story short, brother, this is what my outrage looks like. It looks like just like everything else, man. And there's an advantage in that. When you can do a rough and complex job, and be able to still clearly articulate what needs to be done, in my opinion, is a very effective path for what I do. Um, I hope that answers your question or your statements or whatever. If you need to see me get pissed and stomp a mud hole in a motherfucker, maybe I can do it, maybe I can't. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't have anything to do with what it is that I believe will help us. There ain't enough stomping, and there ain't enough potential mud holes in the world to cure this issue. This is a case of principle. This is a case of I'm trying to think of a secular word for spirituality. This is a case of motivation, of what compels people to do certain things. And this is a case of dissecting a beast that man is attempting to create as we rebuild that Tower of Babel of history. I don't know. And if Mike in Massachusetts and you think that we're wasting our time with such activities, or we're just being naive or foolish, then I wouldn't let it bother you. And what does it really matter what we're doing, right? That's it.